Alright guys, I want to do a little follow-up on the Chinese troops in Canada video. This whole topic first came up, I believe, in the beginning of 2020. That's when I saw this video for the first time, so let me just let this play.
Military personnel on the road coming up. Check out this. Holy cow. Whoa. On Salt Spring Island. And they're all Chinese military. Wow. I wonder what it is. Huh.
Pretty
Crazy.
weird, right? Now, I've never deeply looked into this. You know, that's something that people can do. Take a look at the plants and see if this matches geographically the area of Salt Spring Island. Look at the Chinese uniform, see if that matches what the PLA uses. But for the most part, it looks pretty legit. And all year, you know, the fake news on the side would run stories saying, no, this isn't true. In fact, let's go to Google. This happened to me earlier. Chinese troops, Canada. I think there's a disclaimer. Okay, no, not this time. Chinese troops, Canada, U.S. border. Okay, nothing this time. But anyway, yeah, they tried to downplay this all year long, right? So we're going to look at that document from the other video. If you haven't looked at it yet, give me a second. All right. Nice. Okay. So this is what we were looking at earlier. Rebel News in Canada got a hold of this, and at the bottom, to sum things up, it basically talks about Canadian Armed Forces and the Chinese People's Liberation Army engagements. So the PLA in Canada, right here, that's the People's Liberation Army of China in Canada. The engagement is the winter survival training at CFB Petawawa. And we're going to talk about that because that's on the other side of Canada, near New England, where this exercise was going on, right? Winter 2019. Here are two more exercises, or dialogues as they call them. Chinese Army in Canada. You can see here some mid to high level brass meetings. And then all of these are the Chinese military in China practicing. Down here, once again, the PLA in Canada. And there's three more. And what I find interesting is, check this out, PLA members instruct UN peacekeepers courses in Kingston, Canada. So the Chinese military is training UN peacekeepers on Canadian soil, right? Multiple different times. And then check this out, in China, not just the Canadians, but Australia, New Zealand, even the United States takes part in these Chinese exercises, right? Delegations and brass meetings and, you know, analysis and all this stuff. UN peacekeepers, US, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, China, they're all working together. They're all collaborating with one another. It's unbelievable, right? Okay. So let's go back to the video we talked about, right? That video is from right here. Let me zoom out. So, Pacific Northwest right here, right? On the Canadian-American border, where there's a lot of islands. This is Salt Spring Island right here. As far as military installations, not too many, but the Coast Guard is right here. And there's more on the mainland right here. The Royal Canadian Sea Cadet Corps. And if we just go a little bit south down to Sydney, Canada, we have tons of military installations. And then an airport with what looks like some military stuff going on. So let me point that out real quick. Here's the airport. You have everything from the Coast Guard to the 443rd Squadron, 12th Wing of the Canadian Air Force. Army and veterans, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so there's a little bit going on here. There's enough on this map to show us that, yeah, there definitely could be military training in the area, right? Especially on the border. Now, if we go to Google Earth, Let me zoom out again for you. So that first video was allegedly from... Let me zoom out more so we can get our bearing here. Right, Pacific Northwest. And if we zoom in to Salt Spring Island, this is the island where he said that video comes from. And yeah, it's right on the American border, so I'd imagine there's both a lot of American and Canadian infrastructure. But if we come down here to this little island, this airport, which is very close by, this is where the 443rd Squadron of the 12th Air Wing, Canadian Air Force, is stationed. And if we come down here, we can see what looks like, comment below if you know, but it looks like two Blackhawks. Do Blackhawks do that with their rotors? It definitely looks like two military helicopters or Coast Guard helicopters. Another interesting aspect of this airport is, do you see it? Alright, where my mouse is, there's a compass, right? You even have one of the arms of the compass drawing, right? There's a compass, and of course, the airfield is the square. A little bit of a stretch, but when you come down here, look at this. So, you have your 5-pointed star, right? Look at that. And if you don't know about baseball, baseball itself is a Masonic sport, right? It's a square and compass. It's based on solar movements and stuff. It has a very interesting background to it. They put a lot of thought into baseball when they created it. The numbers they use, the distance between, the pitcher and the batting hit, and all that stuff. It's very interesting. Yeah, so look at that 5-pointed star. And there was one other thing at this airport that was very interesting. I hope I can find it. Very, very interesting. I might not be able to. I can describe it to you, though. It's a little park, and it has an obelisk in it. And surprisingly, Google Earth drove right up to it. I'm pretty sure it was on this airport. So yeah, just a couple interesting little things to take note of. Oh, here it is. Check this out. Hold on. So we're on the airport, and then, of course, you have, this is a Masonic, memorial, right? But it gets even better. You come over to the very end. There it is. You see it? The obelisk. So you're just going to tell me these people really like ancient Egypt too? Plain as day right there. I wonder if I can zoom in. I don't know if I can. Oh, I can. Look at it. Unbelievable. Okay. So, according to these documents, it confirms that there's Chinese troops, not only Chinese, but UN and the Five Eyes countries are all working together on, check this out, see right here, HADR, they mention in this document, it's like hazard response and disaster relief. So China, US, peacekeepers, Five Eyes, everybody's working together for disaster relief exercises, and all the Western countries are going to China, and China's coming to all the Western countries, and they actually go to Wuhan. Look at this. They went to Wuhan for the Military World Games. The US, the UN, Canada. It's a joke, you guys. It honestly, they're all in on it together. And, I think you can make the connection between what's going on in the Pacific Northwest and this, connection to Chinese military. I think they're running a huge communist operation outside of Canada, the Chinese, Canadians, the UN. And I think the Pacific Northwest has probably been a project of theirs maybe for quite some time. Who knows? All speculation, of course, because who knows anything during these crazy times. But yeah, it definitely looks like a square and compass, doesn't it? Whoop. Interesting. Okay. So, yeah. Salt Spring Island. That's where that video allegedly comes from. Didn't see too much for any military stuff there. But let's go to Camp Petawawa, which is on the other side of Canada. Might have to type it in. Can't spell it. I'm gonna have to look it up. Oh, did I spell it right? Petawawa. Yep, I spelled it right. Okay. So the documents tell us that they were training at a military base here in Petawawa. Oh, looks like this must be it. Look at the size of this. Wow. So, according to the documents that Ezra Cohen received from the Canadian government, they were doing winter survival training with the Chinese military right here. Looks like they have ample woods to do training. And this looks really like an old picture. Interesting. Twin Rivers Golf Club, of course. There's always a golf club at these Masonic military bases. Just scanning. Not many pictures. Usually you can get some pictures on Google Earth. Yeah, Canadian Forces Base, Petawawa. Let me see if I can open up this picture. Okay. Here's the garrison. Unbelievable, guys. Yeah, see how the picture changes outside of the base a little bit? And you can get, okay, so this is off limits. Google wasn't allowed in. And that's where China's running operations. Unbelievable. UN peacekeepers, too. This must be an entrance. Royal Canadian Legion branch. Oh, what a surprise. The Canadian Legion, another global fraternity, right? Royal Canadian Legion, yeah. Wow. Well, that's pretty crazy. So, oh, there's more up here, an airport. So despite what all the mainstream media said all year, yes, Chinese soldiers, our enemy, is training in our ally and neighbor's backyard. Ugh, what is this? Look at that, guys. Motor pool. Shipping crates in a motor pool. That looks like military to me. 100% military. More right here. Wow. More over here. Yeah, dark green vehicles, absolutely. Military. Lots of shipping crates. Look at these tents right here. These look like tents. What is going on? What are they doing? Looks like they're building a lot too. Maybe this is the Chinese side. The Chinese barracks. Yeah, it just keeps going too. Look at these, look like massive shooting ranges, I think. Something like that. Wow. Doing a little detective work here. Looking for tents. Yeah, you can see how the picture changes. The military base is intentionally covered up with an old, safer picture, so I think we can assume this is probably all finished. But before we leave, once again, a lot of military stuff. Interesting. Alright, thank you for watching. Chinese troops in Canada. Oh yeah, it says 2004 at the bottom here. That's the last picture they'll let us see. Classic. Alright, take care, guys.